Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to Stump the Idiot. I am the idiot, aka the huge one, Dave Koco from DAVEKOCO.com. I think I said huge one and idiot in the wrong place. That proves that I'm the idiot. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Stump the Idiot, and I have a special tag team partner. No one sees it coming. The mystery tag team partner unmasked, and it's Boom Boom! Boom Boom! Boom Boom is joining Stump the Idiots. It's not one idiot, it's double the idiot for your pleasure. Boom Boom, welcome to Stump the Idiot. Is it an honor to be on the show?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. You just needed expert advice. So, who's the first person you thought of? It was little old me. So, I'm flattered.
All right. Now, everyone on the internet, at least 7, definitely not 11, but maybe 7, asked what do our opinions on the Forbidden Door being open. For the longest time, there's a lot of matches that we dreamed about. There's a lot of pro wrestling that we want shot to the moon. So I'll let you go first since you're the guest. What is your thoughts on the Forbidden Door? I don't think it's kicked open yet. I think it's creeping open. You know what I mean? It's like the little monster of the Forbidden Door peeked his head out. But I don't know if he's brave enough to come out all the way. What is your thoughts right now, as of today? Forbidden Door cracked open. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the Forbidden Door is just kicked down. I think the Forbidden Door has been unlocked. That would probably be the best way to describe it, because they're not people aren't doing full-scale invasions, nor could they, even if they wanted to right now, at least not without jeopardizing everybody else's product. It's definitely a pathway open. I mean, basically, here's what happened. Kenta lives in Florida. John Moxley lives in Las Vegas, but he's working out of Jacksonville, Florida. And Moxley still holds the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. Now, to New Japan, I don't blame New Japan, because nobody really knew when this pandemic started how this thing was going to play out. I think had they had known then what they know now, they just would have stripped Moxley of the championship. Had like a little mini tournament or number one, or basically like a championship match between Kenta and another contender, put the belt on Kenta and kept going, and then just would have promised Moxley a rematch when, the travel restrictions were over. But here we are. There was really no way to do it. Moxley's AEW contract does allow him to wrestle for New Japan. However, it does not allow him to wrestle for New Japan on U.S. soil. So New Japan needed this done, but luckily Tony Khan's pretty cool. He wants to work with people. He's a big wrestling fan, so he had some leverage and said, yeah, I will totally let you use Moxley. We'll send him over to California. You can tape the match for, Strong Style for your TV show that airs on New Japan World. Yeah, but, if we can promote it, can you, send them over to us? And, the deal was done, and then here we go. I mean, and this isn't just for New Japan. I mean, whether you love it or hate it, you've got AEW working with Impact Wrestling, and has got them working with the NWA. And I think it's just the mentality that Tony Khan has now. Either this is going to make him a hero or an idiot down the road. I don't know what it's going to be yet. His philosophy is a rising tide lifts all ships. And now this could be seen as a good move because it kept a lot of organizations afloat. It kept people in the spotlight, kept people drawing paychecks, kept eyeballs on product, kept people talking. It, built up anticipation to sell tickets when we're allowed to have, when they start upping the capacity on live events. Or he's going to be an idiot who gave his valuable airtime to other promotions and spent a lot of money and ultimately led to their downfall. So for right now, I think it's a good thing that they've formed a working relationship. Now, I think everybody jumped the gun, Koco. I don't think. I mean, yeah, I know Okada's name has been thrown around, but I don't think he's showing up anytime soon. Again, because pandemic. I mean, for anybody to do anything, yes, you can still travel to these other countries and they can travel here, but if you do that, it's a 2 week quarantine before you can do anything. And it's that 2 week quarantine, that I think that's what's kind of holding everything up. Now, once it lifts, I mean, yeah, there's a possibility. So, this was done mostly out of necessity because, frankly, AEW had New Japan over a barrel, and he said, you want to work together? And New Japan realized, well, we really don't have much choice. So, yeah, we'll work together. Hopefully, since Tony Khan's shown that he's willing to play ball, maybe this will lead to better things in the future. But as of right now, the forbidden door's not open. It's unlocked.
Yeah, and I obviously what's in the air has changed the situation, and maybe if what was in the air wasn't happening, maybe this never happens, or maybe it happens faster. We'll never know because of what's in the air. Um, I don't
Literally,
think,
not figuratively.
yeah, and I don't think that AEW is making a mistake. I believe you should work with everybody if you're not in first place. I believe when you're in first place, you have to defend it and be smarter. So WWE jumping on board is a bit trickier because they have it. But you got to remember, they're in second place, in most people's eyes that are not insane people. They're in second place. New Japan is close to A. I mean, you can make an argument there. Impact is got the history, but is falling. NWA is like, I'm glad I'm invited to the party. At least I'm not Ring of Honor. By the way, while you were talking, I just popped up a tiny NWA logo in our section of logos. You're like, an NWA, and I'm like, boop. It's just a little guy. But right now, if you are MLW Ring of Honor, you got to jump on this quick. And the reason why I think it's good is because AEW will keep growing. They'll have talent. They'll have people talking about it, eyeballs, and you're going to collect the thing, and you have the most money. He has the most money out of the group, and he has to find a way to catch up with WWE. Plus, you want to have these dream matches that is possible out there. Because here's the thing. New Japan is number one in Japan, but they've made a lot of mistakes in the last 2 years. NWA is barely hanging on. Impact Wrestling is barely hanging on. And AEW is doing the right thing. I think AEW is in the best position out of all the companies, then New Japan, then Impact, then NWA. But why not benefit from that? Why not keep attacking? Why not have it? And not only that, but this is the first thing in a really long time that was exciting. I am actually excited for pro wrestling, and I've seen it all. If it ain't fucking 5 stars, don't send it my way, kid. I ain't got fucking time for that shit. I ain't got time for a 3-star match. I have time for fucking promos. I have time for contract signings. I'm old. It's the end of the line. I'm gonna die soon. You better fucking excite me. You better spark some goddamn interest before I go into the goddamn grave. That's what I'm talking about. And WWE is not doing that. But you have Impact. They have a fan base that's crazy. You have AEW is probably in the best position. You got New Japan, who shit the bed a little bit, but still has a good chance if they get back on board. And they are probably the number 2 company for the longest time. And then you have NWA. Ring of Honor, MLW. I'd jump in on this if I could, if I were you. And yeah, and not only that, but it reminds me of the territory days. It reminds me of that. Think about it. If Kenta didn't belong to New Japan, let's be completely honest. Kenta isn't what he was in Noah. If Kenta goes to AEW with no New Japan contact whatsoever, do we give a shit? But the fact that we know he's under New Japan contract, the fact that we know that there's a little bit of tension, brings excitement in the air.
I think the fact that everybody knows that he's with New Japan makes it a bigger deal because remember when AEW formed, I mean, that created a lot of bad blood, at least on the New Japan side. And Harold May was not down about working with them. They kind of saw everything as a slap in the face because even as you will say, Koco, in the Japanese business world, loyalty is everything. And if you leave jobs, you change jobs, that's pretty much seen as a slap in the face. That's like betraying the family.
Yeah, definitely.
And
And it
AEW
hurts them more
did
than it
that.
helps them.
They took, the elite. They took the entire elite, and they took the best friends. They took a lot of people that they were interested in working with and and were using and were making money with. They went back to America and they started making money. And now, luckily, Tony Khan's been wanting to play ball, so he let him use Jericho. They've created some matches. They've let him use Moxley. They've created some good stuff there. So
Yeah, but a lot of those
I think that
I
because remember, this was something that wasn't supposed to happen, and now it's happening, and that's why people are getting excited because
I,
this wasn't supposed to happen, and now it's happening.
and also it's not specific, but also that's not all Tony Khan. They had him by the short and curlies. You know,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Jericho, Moxley. You know, they leave WWE and are like, yeah, but I also want to work for here. What are you gonna say? You know what I mean? So I think AEW's done some great things. I think the Khan family has done some great things. But Jericho and Moxley had him by the short and curlies. You know, it's like, I'm going to do this and this. Okay, well, thank you for coming. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, but yeah. But overall, no matter who gets the credit, at least it's happening. And as older fans that are basically watching old wrestling to keep our interest alive, this is the first thing a current product has that got excited. And the thing is, too, we are the crankiest of the cranky. We are the grumpiest of the grumps. Wrestle Grump. He's not so Wrestle Grump. We are the Wrestle Grumps. We're pretty grumpy people. So to get us excited at this point of our lives is, you're doing something right. And it feels very territory. It feels good, and it feels like there's hope. Now, a lot of people, because invasions have messed up before.
Can I just say
Raids,
this? I
good.
love how they're doing this
Yeah,
because with the exception of the NWO, every time there has been like a quote unquote invasion angle, it has failed miserably because ultimately it goes into ridiculous territory. You want to go back to the UWFI invading New Japan. You want to do something more moderate, like Retribution, quote unquote, invading WWE, uh, ICW invading Defiant. It always ends up ridiculous because one, you get people who wouldn't normally work together, like kayfabe wise, working together, and then also it's okay, they're invading, they're not supposed to be there. Why wouldn't you just have them arrested? Or why wouldn't you call security, have them thrown out of the building, put a restraining order against them? Why would you not call up their company and be like, hey, your guys are coming over here to our show when they're trying to break in and disrupt things? You need to do something about that. It just always turns out ridiculous, and and then plus everybody looks like the owners look stupid. It's like, okay, well, we're going to have a wrestling match that's going to determine who controls this company. I'm like, no, there's nothing that they have that you need. No,
yeah, and
no,
a
fuck
lot a
no.
lot of that is bookers and non wrestlers and people trying to be characters and non. When that stuff happens, it's usually non wrestlers working a shoot into a shoot. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, so yeah. I'm thinking the Khan family, Tony Khan is smart enough not to do that. Only time will tell.
Yeah,
If Tony
but
Khan comes
yeah,
out,
what
good.
I was just going to say, what I think works well about this, quote unquote, invasion when it comes to both Impact going into AEW and AEW going to Impact, it's always the bad guys doing it. There's a reason for it. There's the Good Brothers coming in because they've got a connection to Kenny Omega, so that makes sense of why they're there. But it's just them. And then and of course, on the flip side, you've got Matt Hardy leading Private Party into Impact Wrestling because they got a tag team championship match. There's a reason why they would, the bad guys would go in there because they're in it for themselves, and plus they acknowledge that both these companies are working together, so everything makes sense. So far so good.
Yeah, and it reminds me of the territory days more than an invasion. And plus, like having having to focus on the athletes and showing the world everything they have, like the territory days, Here's the NWA champ. Here's the new IWGP champ. Here's the Impact champ. Here's the AEW champ. Oh, here's a tag team from this. And they treat it more like, oh, like the territory days. That's what, it's not, they're not treating it like a gang warfare situation where it's like AEW for life. You know what I mean? They're treating it as, oh, we have this guy. He's all. So I think they need to keep with that strategy and less the cartoony gimmick strategy, I think people want to see the best athletes in the world, and people want to see championships from everything. Because one thing that I loved about New Japan is you would see a championship match from another country. That's one thing that was really big in the magazines. That was big during the NWA days, the territory days. Because like as a fan, and nowadays it's maybe a little bit different because people actually like corporations more than pro wrestling. But as a fan, it was cool to sit down, even on the smallest level. Like I would go to IPW, Hardcore Wrestling out of Florida, and they worked with NWA Wildside. And I remember going, I want to see what they have. And the thing is, when you bring your NWA Wildside Championship, the IPW Championship, the ACW Championship, the IWGP Championship, there is a thing of you that sits there and goes, show me what you got. You know what I mean? It's like, show me what you got. And it's cool because, like, if for those that go to indie events, it's cool to go to your local indie. In Tampa, it used to be IPW, NWA Florida, FIP, ACW. It was cool to be like, I want to see what this other company has. So, and the NWA was like that for a really long time. It was like, oh man, here is NWA Hawaii. I know nothing about NWA Hawaii, but here's their champ versus their number one contender. Show me what you got. And basically it was like an advertisement. And then on that, you also have dream matches. I honestly think what keeps me going being a pro wrestler is I want to see one more Okada versus Omega match. I don't care. Meltzer says it's going to happen. And a part of me is like, I wish it was a bigger surprise, but you can't. But one of them winning the title and then the other one popping up, that is a moment that I dream and wish for. And we might be getting it in the future. So there are dream matches out there. And not a lot, but like, here's an example. I watched Impact pay-per-view where I reviewed it. It was completely average. They said the week after that was a better one. But it's like, come on, dude. You have back-to-back pay-per-views? What the fuck is this? One's bad and one's good. Get your shit together, Impact. But here's the thing. I haven't watched Impact since, I haven't cared about Impact probably since the EC3 dropped the ball beyond belief. And I haven't really been super passionate about it since the Samoa Joe headbutt at Kurt Angle. So, one time I used to love this company, but you always got the Andy Paps. You got these Impact fans that are like, hey, dude, it's getting really better. It's getting better. It's getting better. So you're like, okay, well, I don't know if I want to fucking watch a pay-per-view again. I don't know if I want to watch a show. But bring your champ and your number one contender, and I'll watch AEW and New Japan. Show me what you got. And that opens up a door, and that's what it should be working for. And then eventually, of course, and me, being a Muda fan, you got to get all the titles. Kenny Omega just got to collect them all. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? In today's day and age, can you imagine Impact? I'm just picking Kenny Omega. Let's see who's really worthy. Kenny Omega, Okada, Ibushi. Can you think of anyone else that's worthy of having every fucking title? Maybe.
Well, I mean, the last belt collector gimmick there's two people I remember doing a belt collector gimmick. One was Austin Aries, the other one was Kurt Angle.
Yeah. And I thought it went over like crazy for Kurt Angle. It's sad that they dropped the ball on that. But yeah, Austin Aries, I watched it from a distance, so I don't know how good or bad that was. But it would just be cool. It'd be cool to see 4 major titles, And Kenny Omega, love him or hate him, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Okada, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Ibushi, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Could you imagine just rocking 4 major championships? That would be beyond amazing. And then going out there and defending it, and the possibilities is there. Maybe it never happens. But here's the difference between prior to this door being open and the door being closed, there's hope. And me and Boom Boom, ever since ECW, ever since Lucha Underground, ever since New Japan in its prime, and I'll still say it in its prime until they fix shit, until that happens again, we need something that is hope. When you know what the worst part about John Cena, Randy Orton, Dave Batista, and those fuckers being on top, Boom Boom will tell you there was no hope. There was no hope. This is hope. And you know what? The product has been bouncing back, but there hasn't been hope in a long time. And this gives us hope. And I don't know, it's enough for an old man to hang on to this sport. What do you think, Boom?
Yeah. I mean, I think the possibilities are endless. Now, of course, this door could get shut on us and locked again. This could just be a one-time thing, or it could be just something bigger and better down the future. I know at least on the U.S. side it is, because I don't really foresee a reason why Impact and the NWA would want to stop working with AEW right now, because I mean everybody's benefiting. AEW, brought on the Good Brothers, and then no, what they did was they had Don Callis, pull that shenanigans and had Kenny Omega win the championship, and then he went on Impact, and they saw a big ratings increase. Now you're seeing them work with the Good Brothers, and of course over the NWA side, they brought the the NWA Women's Championship there to AEW, and that's, in my opinion, having Thunder Rosa there has really helped out the women's division. Having Serena Deeb on there has really helped out, even though I know she's AEW contracted, but she's the NWA's World Women's Champion. So I think that's helped out. Now, as far as other stuff, I think it'd help out if this partnership holds together. I think yes. I think the obvious story that they're going to tell is you're going to see the Elite come over and they're going to feud with Bullet Club, because you can see right now if you follow like Tama Tonga, I mean, it's almost like every day.
Can I just say something that's not popular? I'm just going to throw it out there. The Bullet Club is fucking dead. Let's be completely fucking honest.
I don't think they're completely dead. I mean, they've got some pretty cool. I mean, they're cool, dude. They're cool guys with the junior heavyweights, though, because I would argue El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori are still pretty damn cool.
Listen, we'll agree to disagree. I think the Bullet Club is fucking dead. It is a t-shirt at best. And even when you buy the t-shirt, you don't fucking say, oh, fucking whoever. I mean, this ain't even a gimmick. It took me a couple seconds to think of any of their fucking names. God, Jay White, fucking others.
I mean, come on, Kenta's still pretty cool. Jay White now.
I don't consider Kenta a Bullet Club. I think that's bullshit. He's not evil. There's not Bullet Club.
The one I never agreed with was Evil joining. That made no sense to me.
Oh, but they made a video. It was always planned.
Yeah, I still think they could have done everything with. I know I'm getting off topic here. I'm gonna try to get back on here with Evil. It just should have been him and Dick Togo. That's just all it should have been,
dude. Oh my god. Yeah, the whole thing is stupid. It's dead. I mean, the fact that like people like this is what I mean by like even New Japan. If you think this version of Bullet Club is better, you might be worshiping a corporation and not rooting for talent. If you think this version of Bullet Club holds a fucking candle to any version of Bullet Club prior to this, we're just fucking lying to ourselves. We are fucking lying to ourselves.
That aside, but I think that's the obvious thing they could do. But you know what? I thought about this the other day. I'm actually kind of glad you brought this up. Everybody's talking about like, okay, let's send Okada, let's send Naito, let's send Tanahashi, let's send Suzuki, let's send them over to AEW. We're gonna have all these dream matches. We'll all live happily ever after. I'm thinking there could definitely be some benefits here. I think one way this would benefit both companies, and this is just my opinion, I thought about this the other day, is why not send teams or some stars that need some seasoning, a little bit more ring time, why not send them to New Japan? Of course, once the pandemic is over,
Yeah.
is I think you could benefit New Japan because where are they weak right now? New Japan's tag divisions are just paper thin right now.
Yeah, just give it to
Why
God
not?
and get everyone out of the way.
Why not send like Private Party and Top Flight over, and you can get and I mean they can be in the junior tag division. They could get some. They could get some seasoning and get some more reps in, and plus it actually starts to fill out their junior tag league, and then why not send over FTR for the World Tag League, or if you're looking for something a little bit more permanent, why not send something like TH2 or some of these who are these other tag teams that really aren't getting a lot of airtime right now. You could send them over to the heavyweight division. You can get some reps in there. You could send maybe something like a single star like Kip Sabian over for like the best of the Super Juniors. Or if you wanted like I mentioned him earlier, like Minoru Suzuki, who's really not doing all that much. Why not send him to AEW and he can run roughshod there? Or say Yota Tsuji when he graduate from being a young lad goes on excursion. Why not send him over to AEW? I think there's a lot of work that could be done that benefits everybody in the long run.
And I agree with you 100%. And booms, we've lived through this. This was the territory days. Do you know why the Road Warriors got the Road Warrior pop? Because they can go from territory to territory. Do you know why Dusty Rhodes was so over? Ric Flair was so over? Because they can go from territory to territory. Like, here's an example. I love Okada. It's no fucking secret. When he loses the title, just watching him entertainment-wise is worthless. And I don't mean to say that he always deserves the title. I'm just saying, what do they do with him? Oh no, Okada's sad. He's got red hair and balloons and fucking what? Stop. When he loses the title and you have nothing for him, send him to AEW. Send him to Impact. Send him to NWA. And that's the thing. And that's why, like, if you can book this properly, you don't have to do the dream matches all the time. Maybe at Wrestle Kingdom, maybe at AEW's, whatever their big event is. I apologize. Impact, whatever their big event is. What is their big event? Is it Slammiversary? I don't even
Yeah, I
fucking
think
know.
Slammiversary is Impact's big one, and All In is AEW's big event.
So do supercards there. But for the rest, when Okada doesn't have the title, he is completely worthless to New Japan. And I don't mean that as an insult. I talk to Japanese pro wrestling fans every day. And there's a saying, and it's a great saying. Wake me up when Okada's champ. But instead of that, instead of Okada fucking embarrassing himself, instead of Ibushi and doing this, every fucking time he has to fall, gets back up. Well, you don't have to do that. Send him to AEW. Send him to NWA. Send him to Impact. And then he comes back, and you're like, holy shit, I haven't seen this guy in a while. He's been kicking ass on another show. And you don't have Balloon Okada. No one wants Balloon Okada.
You bring up something there, and it's like the old saying: it's hard to miss you when you don't go away. So, I think that would be a smart idea because then, because Okada had one hell of a run, especially I think it was his third title reign that he set all the records with. And then after he was done, like you said, he dyed his hair red. He was carrying around balloons, had long tights. It was kind of like, ooh, is this what we're doing? I think had they had some kind of deal worked out with AEW or hell anybody, Ring of Honor, anything, and they sent him overseas after that loss, and then had him, just he could be involved in some kind of storyline somewhere else, maybe win that league's championship or being like a big match, big money maker, whatever. And then once once everything starts to settle down over in Japan, they bring him back, and oh my God, he's back, and you don't have him.
I just want to add one thing real quick, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
And the Road Warrior pop doesn't go away. Go ahead.
No, that's pretty much what I was going to say. That when he comes back, boom, it's a big deal. I mean, an example I could use for this now is like Kushida. Kushida was, or I would say, arguably one of the best junior heavyweights New Japan ever had. And he did everything he could do, and that's why I completely supported him going to NXT because there was nothing left for him to do. And he's been over in NXT for a while now, so if he came back like this year or next year, it would be like a big pop because now the landscape has changed a little bit. There's different matchups now. You could have him, have him and Show go at it, have him and Taiji Ishimori go at it, have him and El Phantasmo go at it. You could see him reunite like an old feud between him and Hiromu Takahashi. It would be a big deal again, but it would not be a big deal if he hadn't gone away for a few years.
And I agree 100%. So this is all good. Now AEW, sit down. This is how we'll end the show. Boom, boom. Impact Wrestling, AEW, New Japan, NWA. Welcome to the party. Ring of Honor. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck you doing over there? Embarrassing. MLW. I heard you're doing good things. So you got to jump aboard. You in or you out? You in or you're out?
Pump up those rookie numbers.
Yeah, pump up those rookies numbers. Okay, everyone sit down.
Numbers, you got to pump those numbers up.
Let me tell you something, kids. Okay? I don't have much more time on this planet. Don't fuck this up, okay? just go out there and make me proud, okay? I don't have much more time. The algorithm has already killed me, and then my heart is going to mess much longer, okay? Just do this old man a favor and make pro wrestling fun. Make it entertaining. Make it exciting. And god damn it, never have Balloon Okada again. All right, Booms, anything else you want to add to that? If not, we're going to wrap it up, brother.
No, we can wrap it up. I'll just say I'm happy that this is happening. I think it's a little exaggerated right now, quite frankly, with what's going on. This is just one match. Now, does it lead to bigger and better things? I hope so. I want it to. I really, wish everybody around the best of luck. Do I think it's best for wrestling as a whole? Absolutely. And I want it to be successful, and I want everybody to be, get to see those dream matches that they've always wanted to see. But also, I would like to warn everybody, please don't get your hopes up. This may be a one-time thing, or it could be the start of, something, or it could just be, absolutely nothing. So don't get your hopes up, but
too late, boo-boo. Hopes at 200%. Hopes are at 200%. I love you, brother. Like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Twitch. Check out DaveKoco.com. We're doing a bunch of stuff, including books. Me and Boom Boom. In about a month, maybe we'll be putting on more shows. We're getting towards the end of our lives. I don't know why this is getting so dramatic. But I am retired, covering for 2 teachers. So hopefully in a month we'll have a steady schedule. And who knows, maybe we'll go back to reviewing shows. Booms. Are you ready to go back where we started? Anyway, more Stump the Idiots, more 5 stars, more Boom Boom, more Dave Koco, and some high fives for everybody. Booms, I love you. And with that, I am over. Hey, ba-dum, bum, bum.